Hello, can you hear me? If you can hear me, please make a comment. Send a thumbs up if you can. Thank you for coming. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I need those in the room to give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Christina. Okay, let's stop the music. I hope you enjoyed that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for being here. Thank you, David. Thank you, Docs. Yes, Johnny. Next challenge, join the community. arit.dev/circle. Amarachi, good to see you. Thank you for coming. Okay, we're going to get started because we have just an hour. Somebody says there's an echo. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, am I still echoing? Am I still echoing? Okay, good. Okay, good. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let's get started. Thank you everyone for coming. So this is our demo day. I lead a community called the ARIT Developer Circle. And one of our activities is to help early career developers gain experience in coding as part of a team. Okay. So, throughout my career, and actually more so as a mentor and a coach, I've discovered that a lot of early career developers have a lot of experience and exposure to building applications by themselves, okay, but not so much experience building as part of a team. And so I decided to create that opportunity for members of my community, building as a team. And this most recent cohort have been working very hard for 12 solid weeks. And so they are going to demo what they've built today. The concept of the app was a directory of tech communities. And so the name of the project is Find Your People, right? And the idea is it's a directory of online communities in tech. And the managers or the owners of these communities can create a listing for their community and add it to the directory so that members of the tech community can find find like a niche or find a group of people that resonate with them. Okay, so that was the general idea for this project. So we are going to present not just the app. Okay, it's so funny. Sometimes when you're building, all you think about is the finished product, and that is fine. But for this experience, I really wanted the engineers to focus more on the process, to focus more on the transformation experience as a result of being a part of this project. Many of them were unfamiliar with the tech stack, and many of them had never coded at all as part of a team. I'm talking about creating PRs, merging, resolving conflicts, PR review, code review. They had never had that experience. So for many of them, this was a baptism by fire. But I am very, very proud because they came out victorious. Okay, so I am going to pull up. So I'm the one that is leading the presentation. Let me just say this off the bat. Okay, this is family. Okay, so we're not trying to be like super, super perfect here. Okay, so please give us grace. But thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So I'm going to be working with the slides, and I am going to bring up the engineers that worked on this project to present what they built and also what they learned in the process. Okay, so let's move to, okay, so this is our agenda. All right, so I need the first person, who is Taylor. Okay, so let me bring up Taylor. Okay, I'm actually going to bring up a number of you. I can't bring up too many people, or else the part of the screen that is showing you the presentation will be too small. Okay, so that's what's going on. All right, so Taylor, come up, my love. And I'm also going to bring up who's next. Let's see, Irene. Is Irene here? I'm not sure. Let me see. Okay. Okay, Irene is not here. Okay, let me bring up, I believe Nika will also be speaking. And I believe Ibimina. Okay, all right, let's have it at that for now. Okay, all right. Taylor, take it away, my dear.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on our demo day. My name is Taylor Jones, and I was one of the engineers on this project. Arit has given you a little bit about what findyourpeople.tech is about, but I'll give you a little bit more. So, our app was a way to connect people within the tech industry, whether you're starting out or a seasoned veteran, to find communities that suit your needs. Whether you're looking for a community that had all women, had all men based on location, or areas of the industry the community focuses on, there's a place for you on findyourpeople.tech. So there are a lot of websites like Meetup and tons and hundreds of tech communities, but this website is to serve as an online directory for you to find or either add your community in one place. And as she said, later on, we'll go in depth of how you're able to sign up and a better explanation of how each of our pages function on our app. To make these things possible, we have been working very hard for the last 12 weeks. And like she said, this is the first time that we have either worked in a group and or worked with this tech stack. So we were learning as we were building. Like you said, learning to push and pull from GitHub. I know my first week, I almost crashed the entire project because I had no idea how to work with GitHub in a group setting. We learned how to correctly format PRs, and we learned how to communicate with our peers to make sure we weren't doing each other's work or trying to push our project along. Throughout the 12 weeks, we met weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, to keep us on track of the project. We will also add these sprints to our repo. So you'll see that some weeks were very good. And most of them, they were good. And then there were some not so much. We did run into a bit of trouble some of the weeks, but again, it's all a learning curve. And during our sprints, we talked about what went well, what we could work on, and things we could carry on to the following week. Along with our sprints, we were able to give weekly feedback to our tech experts, so our voices were very much heard throughout this project. Our MVP and future cohorts. Currently, our app, I would say, is hitting about 85 to 90% of week one MVP. Our MVP included some tasks such as community managers creating a listing for their community, listings being searchable, and listings being tagged with labels. We worked with a serverless architecture and used Firebase authentication. We are quite happy with what we built. We are a team that got thrown together and we worked really well together. For future cohorts, you guys will pick up, I believe Ira can talk more about this, where we left off, adding things like a paid feature function and testing the entire app. Personally, I would encourage anyone trying to break into the tech industry to do a group project if possible. This project alone has instilled confidence. It made me a better team contributor. And honestly, if I didn't do this project and went looking for a job, I feel like it would have been a rude awakening for myself because there were some things that I didn't know and I just didn't realize I didn't know. So thank you to our RIT for the growing opportunity and to Justine and Augustine for helping us along the way. And I will hand it off to one of my ladies in the cohort to explain a little bit more about what our website does.
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you so much. Thank you for that introduction. Okay, moving along, we are going to hear from Irene. So, one of the aspects that I introduced for this project, which actually, came to me, pretty late in the planning process, was instead of putting it on the developers to come up with a design, I decided to include the design community, design UI UX community. Even though I'm not a designer, I cannot design to save my life. But I thought it would be a good exercise for the developers to actually have to implement a UI that was created by somebody else. So we were sort of achieving multiple goals with the same thing. The developers, developing user interfaces that did not come from them, right? And so they had to understand requirements, they had to understand, dimensions and hex colors and that whole experience. But then I also thought it would be helpful for the design community to have an actual project to design for, as opposed to something that came from their mind, or something abstract or arbitrary, I think is the better word. And so there was a challenge that I ran, and we had 5 finalists, and Irene emerged as the winner. So it was her design that we implemented for the application. So I'm going to bring Irene up, and she will speak just briefly about the process that she went through to design findyourpeople.tech. Irene, let me bring you up if you are ready. Okay, welcome, my love. Okay, take it away.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for having me here. So this is actually my first time working with developers. I normally design alone, and I've never gotten like feedback on what my design look like on a life scale. So these are like a very great opportunity for me to experience such. So during the design, I actually had to work with the wireframe specifically. So I had a wireframe to work with. So I had to, make it more aesthetically pleasing and bring it to life. And with the help of the wireframe, I was able to come up with designs that you liked, and that's why I got chosen, which I really appreciate. So I tried to use different design principles, including the use of colors and what the app is all about. So I try to maintain strictly to that. And as well as my audience, so I know this for techies, so I'll all the message or all the information or graphics I'm going to use will be relating to techies or tech related stuff. So I try to maintain that and not go astray. So along the line, it was really nice because I had to work with amazing people. The people were nice, so I was encouraged. It was not in any way a toxic environment. The environment was very cordial, and that drives me further into building amazing things. And also, I along the way, I experienced some challenges, which was my style guide. So normally I design using style guide, but because there was no style guide initially, I had to, it was kind of, it's a bit challenging for me because at some point I had to, change colors and add more colors. And if I had a style guide at the beginning, it would be less challenging. But all in all, it was an amazing experience, and I was able to come up with, usable design and as well as interact with developers, something I've never done before. And I think I can confidently say that I am ready for a job. I'm ready. I'm really ready to explore the design world. And I want to say a very big thank you once again for making my design come alive. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Irene was amazing. To hear her say she's never worked with developers before, she's never she's never designed for an actual live project before. You couldn't tell unless she says it. You couldn't tell because she had just professionalism. What I really appreciated from her was she was available even after she had delivered her design and the developers took it now to implement, but she was available. She didn't just disappear. She stayed plugged in. She attended our sprint planning meetings, even though she's not a developer, but she attended. And I think, that was helpful for her to see, okay, beyond the design, what happens with your design. And I think, her having the opportunity to see that play out, it gives you a level of empathy for the developers that are implementing your design. And so I really appreciated that about Irene, that she stayed with us for the long haul. She's still here, even though her design work has been over for many, many weeks. She was available to modify some UIs. She was available to create. I think at one point we didn't have a UI for a view, and she, created it on the spot. So Irene, we really appreciated you being a part of this project. Thank you for your professionalism. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. All right, let's keep it moving. I see our attendees. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. All right, so next up we are going to have Nika. Nika is one of our engineers, and so let me bring her up and I will take Irene down. Please, engineers, if you are not on stage, could you keep yourself muted just so that we don't have any unwanted, interruptions or feedback. Okay, so Nika, I believe, is going to take us through the actual app. So Nika, you have to tell me what to do because I'm the one driving. Nika, thank you for being here. Take it away. Uh-oh, we do not hear you, my love.
Can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Okay, sorry about that. I had myself muted.
That's okay.
My name's Nika, and I'm one of the engineers, and I'm going to be talking about the landing community manager and the about pages. Here is going to be our landing page. This is where you'll first come, excuse me, if you want to learn more about our application. If you scroll down, you can see that there's a button. Oh, wait, if you go back up, there's a button here where you can actually click to go into a sign up page where you can input your information and it will actually be authenticated with our backend, which is Firebase. Which this was, I think this was almost everybody's first time using Firebase, so that was that was hair raising, but we got through it. If you scroll down a little bit further, it'll actually give you some examples of what our communities would look like for any of the communities that are already signed up with our application. And we also have, I don't know if you can see it at the top, there's a logo and a fav icon that actually Arit went ahead and did for us. So good job, Arit. The next one we're going to go to is our community page. So if you scroll down and click on any of those, it should take you to the community page. And this is just an overall look as to what you could expect to see when you actually click on the community itself. You should be able to get a description and what the name is. And if you actually go to visit community, it should give you even more information like the URL and who the manager is. If you'd like to click that, I think you might be able to see it.
What do you want me to click there?
Visit community.
Okay.
Okay, that one didn't get.
I think it's a dummy. We have
yeah.
data. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
so it would end up showing more information about the community. And one of the other places that was pretty core to our application was to actually have the manager dashboard where you can actually put in your community information. So if you actually go /manager dashboard. I think it should take you there, Reed, if I'm not
One
mistaken.
second. Let me sign in.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Wonderful. I think you can click add new community and it should take you there. This is the form. Excuse me, this is the dashboard, excuse me. And this will like bring in the information that you put in when you signed up, and it'll display your name. For a future feature that we like is for you to be able to hit edit profile, and then you can actually change any of the information that you had previously put in, and that would be of course reflected in the database. If you click on add new community at the bottom, it should take you to a form. And this form is a form that's validated. So if you don't fill it in, it will not actually let you submit to our database. You have to have the name, the manager, the community URL, and at least the description as required elements for this form. So we're going to let her go ahead and fill it out. You can put in your Twitter, your LinkedIn, your start date, a lot of cool things for us to be able to see. And once you hit submit, it should let you know that it has updated. There's supposed to be an alert box that comes up. I'm not
It
seeing it,
did.
but
Yes,
oh,
it
okay, it
did,
did.
but
Okay,
I don't think it showed. Okay.
okay,
So
awesome.
if I go back to dashboard and refresh. Uh-oh. Okay.
So here's one thing that we had decided to keep down the amount of spam that we might end up getting is that you would not automatically get that listing published. So that's going to be a future feature where you'll be able to actually see it and then be able to have it update that it would get published or not. And that's just so that we don't have any trolls or people taking up space that's not actually going to be adding to this application. We think it's really, really important to keep a good rein on those things, because if we just let a whole bunch of spam come in, I don't see how that's going to be very helpful for our users and our community as a whole. And then the other page that I wanted to talk about was our About page. And that just gives you more information about our application and also about the engineers and designer that was involved in making this whole thing come together. It truly was a team effort. I can say that I'm the better for going through this. I would not be at the place that I am at if it had not been for these other ladies. Literally, there were times where I wanted to give up, but because they did not, I continued moving forward. There were lots of frustrations because I had never used Next.js. I had never used Tailwind for styling. I had never used Firebase. And, some really key things for me personally that I think I'm going to walk away um, with after being in this project is communicate, communicate, communicate. Um, our first couple of weeks, I don't think that we were very good on communication, and our mentors let us know that. We had a Slack channel, and they said, "Hey, nobody's really saying a lot," and so we had to get much better about that. But as time continued, I started learning that for me personally, it's better for me to ask lots of questions up front because it ended up saving me time on the back end. I was less frustrated, and I ended up being able to work with other engineers to come up with solutions that maybe I didn't even think about. And it doesn't necessarily mean that someone's better or worse than another as much as is it going to be code that performs better? And in the end, is it going to serve our end client the best? And if that's the case, then that's the code that we need to go with. So performance was important, communication was important, and the last thing was time management. I really do believe that time management is something that everybody can get better at, myself definitely included. And I find that if I don't have my time management right, it literally will kill dreams. There were a lot of other things that we wanted to put into this application. And I think if I managed my time better, I would have been better able to put those features in. And I think we all just rose to the occasion, and I'm definitely more confident since doing this. So thank you, Arit, thank you, team.
Nika, that was an overview of 12 solid weeks of work, and it's hard to capture it, just in that short time period. But like I said at the beginning of this presentation, my focus as their mentor and their coach was on the process. Literally, I think only one of the engineers had a little bit of experience with Next.js. The rest of them were brand new to Next.js. And so it was a very challenging project, but I didn't shrink back from it because so much of our engineering careers involves grappling with stuff that we have never encountered before, whether it's tech, whether it's techniques, approaches, certain design patterns. There's always going to be something new. And so I wanted my mentees, the engineers in this project, to not be afraid of the discomfort and the fear that comes with the unknown. Okay, that was a huge process related aspect of this project. It wasn't about building the most beautiful, amazing, out of this world thing. No, it was about coming face to face with those fears, and instead of shrinking back, forging ahead in spite of them. So, Nika, thank you for that overview. Let's go back to our presentation. We're going to keep it moving. Thank you, Nika. Thank you. All right. Aha. We are going to hear from Sheyi. 1 second. Let me bring them up. Okay. And Nika, I'm going to let you go. Thank you. Hello, Sheyi.
Hello, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Shay. I am delighted to talk about the overview of the user authentication. That means like the authentication implemented during this Firebase, during this app process. Then the authentication was done using Firebase. As earlier said, Find Your People.dev is a directory of online tech communities where communities manager can submit and create listings for their communities, and also user can discover and connect with like-minded individuals to share similar interests. So, and okay, let me just give brief introduction or explanation of user authentication. It's just the process of verifying a user before he or she will be able to attempt or access the system or application. And it's a very critical aspect of this app, and it was done using Firebase. Uh, our implementation process, we set up the authentication in our app. We use Firebase authentication in this project by creating authentication for username and password. And we also added some functionalities before you'll be able to log in. And it also have features like security rules. That's like your password, e.g., your password has to have digits and or capital letters. Then integration of other Firebase service like real-time data Firebase. And actually, this was my first time working with Firebase. Like I don't really have any idea, but it was really like with the mentors and the teachings and the collaboration, like it really went well. And going, okay, so the benefit of the file-based authentication in our app for security, that's to avoid okay, built-in authentication mechanism provide access to our app. Then for simplicity, the Firebase offers straightforward integration with various platforms. Reliability, Firebase infrastructure ensure availability and minimal downfall. In conclusion, find your people dot Find Your People app.dev can provide and secure a nice experience for both communities, managers, and users, enabling them to connect with relevant tech communities and foster meaningful interaction within the app. And I just want to talk about my experience throughout this project. It has really been an amazing experience. This was my first time working with Nest.js, and working in a team like this, the teaching, the collaboration, the learning, and I just want to say thank you to our mentors, Arit, Augustine, and Justin, and to all my team members. It was really a great experience.
Thank you, Shay. I want to say something because the stack that we used for this project was new for many of us, me included. I still have never worked with Next.js. So our engineers are actually better than me at this point because you all have this experience that I still don't have. I'm learning React, so I'm hoping to, build a Next.js application at some point in the near future. And I had never used Firebase as well. It takes a lot of courage to jump into building with tools you're not familiar with. And I truly commend our engineers because it would have been the easiest thing in the world to tuck tail and run, literally, and just ghost everyone, ghost the project, ghost the mentors. But to their credit, they stuck with it. They stuck with it. And it was just amazing to watch them consume the documentation, lean on the mentors for support, and dig deep to find the will to learn and to keep moving and to actually produce something amazing in the process. I want to take this time before we continue. We're getting, believe it or not, we're getting to the end of our presentation because we want to leave time for Q&A. But I want to take this time to appreciate from the bottom of my heart Justine and Augustine. They served as almost subject matter experts, not almost, they served as subject matter experts for this project. The reason being that even though I was the sort of like the one who created the opportunity, I knew next to nothing about the tech stack. I'm a Rails gal, okay? Rails and Ruby, yes, till I die. So, but I didn't want to force our engineers into a completely new language. So they didn't have experience with Next and Firebase and all of that, but they did have JavaScript and React experience. And so I didn't want to, even though you can use React with Rails, but I didn't want to force Rails on them, right? I wanted to kind of stay in that JavaScripty type stack, okay? Even though it meant I didn't know the first thing about them. And that's where Justine and Augustine came in, because they have experience with this stack. They have experience, not just in using, but advanced experience. And if not for their guidance and their teaching and their training and their support, I don't think we would have made it. So I want to give a special shout out to Justine and Augustine for serving as our mentors and serving as our subject matter experts. Truly appreciate the both of you. Thank you so much for making yourself available to our engineers and showing them that there's nothing they cannot learn. Absolutely nothing. So thank you so much. Shay, that was wonderful, my dear. Thank you. Thank you for that overview. All right. Okay. We are at the end. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm going to switch back to the app just so that everyone can see it one last time. And so this is Find Your People, findyourpeople.tech. It's an app that we envisioned to be like a support to the tech community. It's a directory of online tech communities, whether it's engineering, UX, UI, product, graphic design, anything tech related, right? Data science, data analysis, cybersecurity, absolutely. And so the vision is to have this directory of communities that people can come, they can search by different keywords, and then the managers or the owners of these communities can add their community to the directory to be discovered. Okay, this is the MVP. This is version 1.0. We've not even deployed yet, so we are still on Netlify. We've not deployed. This is an ongoing project that the ARI Developer Circle, my community, will own for the foreseeable future. And the idea is to give opportunities for cohorts within our community a chance to iterate on this MVP and improve it and make it better. And so my hope is that by the second iteration, we will actually be able to launch this live on the actual domain name and have it ready for use by our beloved tech community at large. Okay. And so the next cohort coming in is going to take this up and take it to the next level. And so this project is a sort of what we are using as a teaching tool in our community to give early career developers and other tech professionals, because I'm going to do my best to incorporate other tech disciplines in this project as I can, but is to give them that real world experience. The app is just a side benefit. The real value of what we're doing is that real world experience, learning how to collaborate, learning how to communicate technically, learning how to appropriately consume documentation so you can use it and all of that. So, we are looking forward to seeing this project grow and become even greater. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I am going to bring up all the engineers for Q&A. So I want you to see everyone who was involved in this amazing effort. So everyone come back up. If you can come on camera, please do, so that everyone can see your beautiful faces. But this is the team. This is the team. I believe we have everyone here. Yes, Aches is here. Irene, Chibuzo, Taylor. Yes, I believe we have everyone here, just not our mentors. Our mentors are not here, but everyone is here, and I'm so happy to see everyone. So we're going to move into, we have about 20 minutes left in the session. So we're going to move into Q&A. So please, if you have a question, please put it in the chat. I think it might only work for people on YouTube. Sorry, LinkedIn people, I have to work out that LinkedIn. I'm not too conversant with it yet. But if you are watching through YouTube, please definitely go ahead and put your question in the chat and we will answer. You can ask about anything. It doesn't have to be the project. You can ask about the community. You can ask these wonderful ladies about their specific experience if you want to hear, what their individual experiences were around a subject or a topic. You can ask that as well. But I'm very, very proud of these amazing engineers. They are ready to work. They are ready to work. I think this experience, together with their technical skills, I think this experience has really prepared them for real life work as developers, and has exposed them to sort of the competencies that are required to work on production level engineering teams. So from here, they're going to be landing jobs and they're going to have amazing kick-ass engineering careers. So thank you all for coming. I see the comments. Thank you for coming. Patrick, thank you. John, thank you so much. Isosa, thank you. Thank you so much. So I have one question while we're waiting for questions to come in from the audience. I have one question, and each of you can take time. Yes, yeah, Jessica, I see you. Resume badge. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Look, they are ready for jobs. Resume badge. They are ready for jobs. So let's get these engineers some jobs. So I have this question for everyone, and you can answer. Don't answer all at once, but feel free to answer at your leisure. Which area did you experience the greatest amount of growth as an engineer as a result of this process? So you all grew in many ways, but I would like you to speak on the one area that you experienced the greatest amount of growth as a result of this project. Who's going to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, go ahead.
For me, honestly, I would have to say my level of confidence. And the reason I say that is because, like, when you're learning how to code, I don't know about everybody else, but I question everything, right? And then I start wondering, well, can I do this as a job? Going through all of this and having to consume the documentation, having to communicate with other people, and also being able to be vulnerable and ask questions, even if I might sound like I'm a total idiot. I I guess I'm just at this point now where I don't care
Yes.
because I'm here to learn, and my confidence level has grown tremendously to the point where I actually signed up for a hackathon this weekend. I would never have done that before. Never. I would never have done that before. And so I have every expectation I'm going to go in there, and I don't know everything, but the stuff I do know, I'm going to kill it. And so that's how I feel about it. And if I hadn't done this, I would not be able to say that. So yeah, for me, that's what I've learned.
Awesome, Nika. I'm going to jump in right here. We've heard from some of the engineers. I want us to hear from the others who haven't spoken yet. And then we have some questions that have come in the chat. So I'm going to display those questions on the screen, after we wrap up with the current question. Ibimina, let me say something about Ibimina, okay? I honestly believe, and I was there from the beginning, so I know what I'm saying. Ibimina, you were the glue that I think helped this team rally and helped this team come together at the time when everybody was afraid that they couldn't hack it. Okay. I give you that recognition and I give you that honor because almost from day one, you assumed a leadership. Let me say this to those in the room, okay? When we started this project, I did not designate a leader. I didn't give these engineers any roles because I wanted it to happen organically. Okay. I wanted them to step up without being asked to do it or without, me volunteering them to do it. And I think Ibimina, you stepped up in an amazing way, or like from the very beginning. And so I really appreciate you for your leadership. You didn't know everything. You weren't an expert in anything at all, but there was just a leadership quality that you brought to the team that I think helped the other engineers to also step into their power as leaders. So I commend you for that, my dear. I recognized it and I commend you for that publicly. So thank you so much, Ibimina. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. So go ahead and answer. What area did you experience your greatest growth in the project? Oh, we can't hear you, my love. I think you're on mute. Oh, we can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are we hearing? No? Ibimina, we're not hearing you, my dear. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. Oh, we'll have to come back to you, my love. We're not hearing you. We're not hearing you. Okay. All right. Try and figure that out. Try and figure that out. Okay. All right. Achez, let's go over to you, my dear. What area did you experience the greatest growth as part of this project?
Hello, everyone. I would say is the ability to collaborate and work in a team. And also, I didn't even believe I could learn a new framework while also using it to build something at the time because I had no idea. I've never used Nest.js before. I've never used Tailwind CSS before. So I had to learn while working on the project. And it was a really great experience for me. And that has also helped to boost my confidence. Like now I think I can go out there and kill it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. We're going to go to Chibuzo next. Chibuzo. So we have a few mothers, actually. So that's my heart. That's my passion. Okay. An aspect of my passion as a tech mentor and coach is particularly for mothers that are seeking to improve their lives through their careers and definitely their wallet and their pocket. So our mothers are Nika and Chibuzo. And so Chibuzo, I want to commend you because I think in terms of just technical skill, I think Chibuzo was on the lower end. just in raw technical skill. And what I mean by that is exposure, right? I commend you, Chibuzo, because any lesser woman would have run, but you didn't run. And I think that's the mother in you, right? I think that's the mother. That's like we mothers, like if we give up, all is lost, okay? Not just with family, but even in society and community. If the mother gives up, all is lost. And so I commend you for digging your heels in and saying that, no, even if I get to the end bruised and battered, I'm going to get to the end of this thing and I'm going to contribute the best that I can to this wonderful team. So I commend you for that, Chibuzo. So go ahead and share with us what the greatest area of growth was. Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be among the team. Majorly when we started, I had the issue of Git, that was the major issue I had at the initial stage. I heard about conflict for me for the very first time in this journey. I haven't heard of anything called conflict. When you said, I said, what do you know of conflict? I had to go back and Google it, that was, but now I'm very comfortable working with Git and with GitHub. And I work majorly on the styling with Tailwind CSS. I am so far very comfortable working with Tailwind CSS. I love it more than the basic CSS. I really want to appreciate you for bringing me to this thing, because it has shown me what it means to work in a team. Had it been I have gotten a job before now, I believe that I would have messed up. But now I have a very good experience on how working in a team looks like, how what it means to cut a ticket, what it means to raise an issue, all those things. I didn't know anything about those before, but now I can confidently work in those aspects. I'm very grateful. Thank you, ma.
You're welcome, Chibuzo. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of everyone. Okay, now we had some questions coming in. Is Ibimina back? Ibimina, my love, do we have your audio now?
Can you hear me now?
Excellent. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hello.
All right, Ibimina. Yes, go ahead and answer, dear.
I think what I learned in this project while working on this project was being able to relate with people that are not really at my level, like bringing myself down, right? Because mostly I work alone, but being able to work with these ladies was amazing, and seeing how they were sometimes struggling, and I try to like help them. Like I don't try to push. I don't want to push too much so that they don't break or just say, I'm not doing this again. I don't like hearing I'm not doing this. So being able to work with these amazing ladies, being able to see where the project is going, like issue tickets, review PRs. I've not done PR reviews. I haven't reviewed anyone, but being able to review PRs in a good way, like not necessarily tearing down their work and saying, "Oh, what you didn't do this well. You're supposed to do this." Just being able to tell them, "Oh, what if we try it like this? This is good, but let's just see if it will work like this, right?" Not making them feel like all their hard work, because most of the time they've had sleepless nights, and you can't just come and tell them that, "Oh, what you did is not working. You didn't do it well." Because at the end of the day, code works depending on how you write it, right? You can write your code in different ways and it will work. There's no best, let's say there's a faster way, like optimizing your code better, but as far as your code works for now, you're good to go. Yeah, so being able to work with these amazing ladies and see us bring out something unique, something different from what other groups are bringing out. Yeah, I think that's my best.
Awesome. Ibimina, senior dev, team lead, Seth, not even senior dev, team lead. Wonderful. Truly appreciated your contributions. Everyone did amazingly. So there's a question from Augustine, one of our subject matter. Augustine, first of all, I don't understand why you're not in the room, but that's okay. That's fine. That's okay. There's a question. What mistakes did you make that you would advise others collaborating not to make? So this question is from the perspective of being a young professional in your career. What mistakes did you make that you would advise others who are collaborating not to make?
Let me go first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Actually, you wanted to say
Yes.
eh,
I wanted to say communication. Like we said earlier, when we started the first week, there was no communication between us, so it held us back. So our advice for that thing, once you are starting now, learn to start communicating early so you can put your work into action fast without any delays. Thank you.
Anyone else?
okay. I would like to say try to work on your functionality before your design. So in this project, we made some like 9 minute functionalities which shouldn't be. So try to work on your functionalities first. Even if your design is ugly, leave CSS alone. Work on those ugly buttons just the way they are, and CSS would come up later on. So functionality over design.
Awesome. Anyone else?
I want to talk about ability to ask for help because, okay, I think I have this, I don't know, like I'll be stuck for days and I'll be scared to ask people. But during this project, like it's really taught, actually, this team is really, really safe, like welcoming, and they won't even like during this collaboration, I didn't even feel like, oh, I shouldn't be asking, or okay, I'll feel bad. It's as if I'm disturbing. It was a peaceful space, and I just feel no matter what, just ask for the help. I don't know, somebody somewhere might just come up and just give a helping hand. So I think that's what I really learned.
Awesome. Anyone else? Before we go, we have some other questions. So, anyone else? Okay, all right. Let me post the next question. This is from Resume Badge, and they are asking, what are some skills you acquired that you can take into your next professional role as an engineer?
So before this project, I haven't worked with Tailwind CSS. So when we were suggesting on which framework to use for CSS, and Taylor said Tailwind, and we said, "Oh, let's vote." And everybody just said, "Oh, Tailwind, Tailwind." And I was just asking, "Oh, have you worked with Tailwind before?" I was like, "I haven't worked with Tailwind before. I worked with vanilla CSS, but since you say Tailwind CSS, I would learn Tailwind CSS." So I've learned that. Also, working as a team, like this is actually a team. When I say team, this is actually a team in that we had we are at our lowest. So when we were at our lowest, we were at our lowest, and when we are at our highest, we are at our highest. So bringing everybody together and moving forward, I think working as a team, collaborating with each other, going even if it's to go into their DMs and fish them out. So collaboration. Yeah, so more collaboration, teamwork. Yeah.
Awesome. Anyone else? We're coming to the end of the session, but go ahead.
Okay. I would say communication. I have improved on my communication in working as a team. And also, just like Idwina said, on Tailwind CSS, I didn't know anything about it before, but now I'm very comfortable with it. Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for the questions, everyone. Thank you. So we're coming to the end. We're going to end on time, as is my superpower. Thank you so much for coming. Those who came to view, thank you so much for coming. Like I said, I'm so proud of each and every one of you as engineers. I saw you struggle. I saw you have self-doubt. I saw you, I saw it in your eyes. What am I doing here? What am I really doing here? But you know what else I saw? I saw initiative. I saw you. If you know, they'll tell you, these ladies will tell, I didn't do anything. I just ran sprint planning and, asked them questions in Slack and told them things like, we're coming down to the wire, this is not done, that is not done. But I didn't direct these engineers because they directed themselves. And it was so amazing to see it take shape in that organic way. I deliberately, even though I was itching at times to push them and to tell them what to do, but I mean, just in a miraculous way, they rallied. It was amazing to see that progression from deer in the headlights to laser focused. It was amazing to witness. And so I commend each and every single one of you. And I want you to know that this experience you've had, no one can take it from you. It's in your bones now, it's in your blood, it's in your being. And you can carry these very concrete competencies into other projects, other collaborations, and most definitely your paid working careers as engineers. So keep iterating, be bold. You've seen now that leadership does not require you to know everything. Leadership is so much more about just knowing on a knowledge level, right? It's about mobilization. It's about organization, right? It's about motivation. It's about empathy, recognizing when someone is struggling and doing what you can to provide resources to them. That is leadership. And that is what will set you apart in this industry. Not just the technical know-how, that's absolutely necessary, but those leadership and those communication competencies will take you very, very far. So keep growing and keep iterating, okay? Don't disappear on the community because cohort 2 is coming behind you, okay? So, some of you may end up being mentors for future cohorts, okay? So, don't disappear because we're going to need the expertise that you now have for future cohorts coming up. We are going to wrap it up right now. For those in the room who are interested, this is one of the projects that we run as part, in the ARIT Developer Circle. That is my community of primarily software engineers, but we have product people, we have designers, we have UX, UI, we have data, we have cybersecurity as well. That's those people are trickling in as well. So it's a tech community. It's an empowering community of tech professionals. And so if you're interested in participating in this kind of project, like you've seen today, join the community, arit.dev/circle, arit.dev/circle. And once you're in the community, you can get more information about when we're going to be running something like this again. All right. So thank you so much for coming. We're about 2 minutes out, but I think I'll end it here. Engineers, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on the MVP of findyourpeople.tech. Congratulations. You should be very proud because I am very proud of you all. So well done, well done, well done. Okay. Everyone who attended, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and thank you for supporting our engineers. We will do it again with cohort 2. With the next cohort coming up, we will definitely do this again. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. Stay well. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you.